Hi guys! For social studies today we're learning about the state Georgia. Okay, so let's get started. So let's actually look through the pictures. So this picture shows several species of azaleas which are native to Georgia and the southeast. This is Spanish moss. It's a flowering plant that grows on larger trees in states like Georgia. Really pretty. Bobcats may twitch their ear tufts to communicate with other bobcats. So bobcats are very popular in Georgia. Okay, so that's the pictures for Georgia. So let's learn some information about Georgia. Georgia's nickname is the Peach State. It was the fourth state and it became a state in 1788. Its capital is Atlanta and the biggest city is also Atlanta. The state bird is a brown thrasher and the state flower is a Cherokee rose. A little bit of history about Georgia. The first people arrived in what is now Georgia at least 13,000 years ago. By 1000 BC, Native American tribes, including the Appalachee, Cherokee, and Choctaw, lived here. In 1733, Georgia was established as the 13th colony, and in 1788, it became the fourth U.S. state. But at the start of the Civil War in 1861, Georgia left the Union and wouldn't return until the end of the war in 1865. Why is it called Georgia? Georgia was named after King George II, who approved the colony's charter in 1732. Wonder how Georgia got its nickname? Cherokee Indians grew peaches in Georgia in the mid-1700s, and today the state produces about 2.6 million bushels a year, making it the third biggest producer of peaches in the United States, behind California and South Carolina. Okay, so on the left we have the Georgia flag, and on the right we have this is the state flower, which is the Cherokee rose, the state bird, the brown thrasher, the state tree, which is a live oak, and the state corridor, which has a peach in the middle of the state of Georgia. So geography and landforms. So in the pink is the state of Georgia, and New Jersey's right here. So it's down the east coast. It's above Florida, next to Alabama. So it's south and east. So Georgia is bordered by Tennessee in the north, South Carolina and the Atlantic Ocean in the east, Florida in the south, and Alabama in the west. In the northwest corner of the state is the Appalachian Plateau, with deep caves and 2,393-foot-tall Lookout Mountain. East and south of the plateau region is the valley and ridge region, which has steep, rocky ridges above fertile valleys. In the northeast corner of the state are the Blue Ridge Mountains, with Georgia's highest peak soaring to 4,784 feet. The center of the state is the Piedmont region, with valleys, low hills, and forests full of oak, hickory, and poplar trees. To the south is the Atlantic coastal plain with rivers, waterfalls, and beaches. It's also home to the 700-square-mile Okefenokee Swamp. Full of twisting waterways, cypress trees, and alligators, the swamp is the largest in North America. Island hoppers can take a quick drive to 4 of Georgia's barrier islands, Sea, Jekyll, Tybee, and St. Simons, or sail across salt marshes to discover more remote islands. The wildlife in Georgia, and that's the picture of the bobcat we saw earlier. Black bears, bobcats, deer, and gophers are common in Georgia, and off the coast you can spot manatees, right whales, and humpback whales. Georgia is also home to bald eagles, peregrine falcons, and woodpeckers. Some trees you're likely to see include live oak trees, magnolias, cottonwoods, sugar maples, and gum trees. But what's that spooky looking vine all over them? It's Spanish moss, and it depends on trees for its water and nutrients. It doesn't kill the tree, but the moss can shade the tree's leaves and can sometimes cause branches to break off. Kudzu is another common vine, and this one is a really bad neighbor. This invasive species is sometimes called the plant that ate the South because of the way it grows up and over anything in its path, blocking sunlight and eventually smothering it. Some natural resources from Georgia. With over half the state covered in pine trees and more commercial forest land than any other state, it's no wonder Georgia is known for its lumber, resins, and turpentine, which all come from trees. Georgia grows the most peanuts in the United States, and it's also the country's largest producer of quallen cake clay, which is often used in paper making and beauty products. Some fun stuff about Georgia. Visit Radium Springs, natural hot springs that flow from the ground at 70,000 gallons a minute. President Jimmy Carter, Martin Luther King Jr., and musician Kanye West all lived here. Take a horse-drawn carriage ride in the city of Savannah to see cobbled streets, beautiful parks, and 18th century architecture. And now here's our fun video of Georgia. So we're going to see Barry the Bald Eagle thinks his friend Georgia the Brown Thrasher is a peach. Good thing he's visiting the Peach State, otherwise known as Georgia, to check out cool cities like Atlanta and awesome outdoor activities.
Hey yo, I'm DJ Pigeon and I'd like to introduce y'all to our national bird. Make some noise for Barry the Bald Eagle, our state by state chauffeur. Hey, let's head to the Peach State, my little party crashers. We're gonna meet the state bird of Georgia. She's a brown thrasher. Well, hello, Georgie. I bet you don't hear this all the time. But did you know that Georgia is on my mind?
Well, hello there, Barry. Welcome to Georgia. We're a pretty big state, so let's get flying. I implore ya. Down here, we think our peaches taste sweeter. And if they measured a southern charm, we'd be off the meter. Atlanta is a center for trade in the southeast. Martin Luther King is from here. He fought for peace. Atlanta is the capital and most populous city. A Civil War battleground of Union and Confederacy. But that was a long time ago, around 150 years to be exact. We hosted the Olympics in '96. That's a fact.
Coast to coast, state to state. Gonna tell you about a place and what makes it great. So just fly with me, fly with me, fly with me. Come on, fly with me. Sweet Georgia Brown. Now, isn't this one of the original colonies?
Yeah, Barry, we were the last 13.
Was the first British settlement in Atlanta?
Nah, the first settlement was in Savannah. If you like the Atlantic Ocean, we got plenty of beach. The Appalachian Mountains in the north border Tennessee. Georgia has swamps, marshes, rivers, and forests. And our state parks are great for us and the tourists. We have more soil types than any other state. Our loam, silt, and clay may be brown, red, or gray.
Coast to coast, state to state. Gonna tell you about a place and what makes it great. So just fly with me, fly with me, fly with me. Come on, fly with me. Georgia's pretty awesome, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, we grow the most peanuts. And pecans, too. We had a president for a year. Can you guess who?
Who?
Was a peanut farmer, the 39th president, Jimmy Carter. So the story goes, the state flower is a Cherokee rose. Our state amphibians, the green tree frog. This was my best friend, his name is Zog.
Ribbit, hey, Zog.
George and Ray Charles recorded our state song one time. It's a little ditty called Georgia on My Mind. The gopher tortoise is our state reptile. They might move slow, but they've got a lot of style. This one's named Todd. Do you want to pet him?
Yeah, he's begging. Coast to coast, state to state. Gonna tell you about a place and what makes it great. So just fly with me, fly with me, fly with me. Come on, fly with me. Coast to coast, state to state. Gonna tell you about a place and what makes it great. So just fly with me, fly with me, fly with me. Come on, fly with me. It's very nice to meet you and your friends, Georgie.
Now let's go pick some peaches.
Okay, cool.
So that ends our social studies lesson for today.